This is speaking of the heart of sacrifice, which a sacrifice is a gift, a matana. It's a gift. But the sacrifice of Messiah is a gift not from man to God, but from God to man. We're going to see some of the most important, central, crucial, and revolutionary truths of our faith. Now, a question. When you came to the Lord, did any of you make an attempt to read the Bible right through? How many people just tried that? And how far did you get? Yeah, okay, Genesis is okay. Genesis, creation, Adam, Noah, Abraham, that works. Exodus, first part, Moses, that kind of works. Then you start getting into the instructions of the tabernacle, the sockets and all those things, and it starts to break down. If you can make it, when you're a new believer, survive, you end up in Leviticus. Leviticus is kind of like you get hit by a train, if you will. That's my story. But Leviticus, it's like this. You get the sacrifices. You got the offerings, all that. But then you get the kidneys and all that. It's a mountain that few believers have ever crossed as new believers. And has seen the death. Leviticus has seen the death of more Bible reading plans by new believers than any other book. And yet, when you look at the book of Leviticus to see what it really is, everything changes. It opens up another realm. Colossians 2, don't worry, you're in Hebrews, but I'm going to start. Things which are only a shadow of what is yet to come, but the substance belongs to Messiah. It's saying that all these things in the law, in the temple, the sacrifices, everything was a shadow of the substance that was in Messiah. Now look at Hebrews 8. Verse 3, for every high priest is appointed to offer gifts and sacrifices. So it's necessary for this priest also to have something to offer to this priest, Messiah. Now, if he were on earth, he would not be a priest at all, since there are priests who offer gifts according to the law. They serve a copy and a shadow of heavenly things. When Moses was about to erect the tent, he was told by God, make it according to the pattern that was shown you on the mountain. So Colossians says that all these things in the law were shadows of what was yet to come in Messiah. And here this says that these things in the law were shadows of things in heaven. Hebrews 9 goes more specifically. It's Hebrews 9, verse 13. For if the blood of goats and bulls and the ashes of a heifer, sprinkling those who have been defiled, sanctify for the cleansing of the flesh, how much more will the blood of Messiah, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, cleanse your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? It's saying the sacrifices here, now it's more specific, the sacrifices are shadows of Messiah. Messiah is the ultimate sacrifice. All the sacrifices in the book of Leviticus in some way relate to him. Now, that alone is radical. No other faith speaks of a man being a sacrifice, much less an ultimate sacrifice. For the rabbis, this almost seemed like blasphemy for Judaism. And yet, this is the ultimate destination of Judaism, of the Bible, all leading up to it. Messiah is the ultimate sacrifice. The book of Leviticus is showing all sorts of shadows about that. And there are all sorts of different sacrifices. And they're revelations of the one sacrifice. They're all different parts of the sacrifice of Messiah. It's kind of like Messiah, if you picture it this way, it's like a beam of white light that goes through a prism and it breaks up and has all the colors of the spectrum. Well, Leviticus has all the different sacrifices, the peace offering, the guilt offering, but they're all facets of Messiah, the ultimate sacrifice. Now, tonight, we're going to look at just one sacrifice, one aspect of the sacrifices. It's going to be one Hebrew word. And yet this one Hebrew word, which is so simple, it is so radical when we really get this. I'm going to read now, you can just hear me, Leviticus 23, verse 37. These are the appointed times of the Lord, all the holy days of Israel, which you shall proclaim as holy convocations to present offerings by fire to the Lord, burnt offerings, grain offerings, sacrifices, and drink offerings, each day's matter on its own day, beside those of the Sabbaths of the Lord, and besides your gifts and your free will and votive offerings that you give to the Lord. Now, one of the words there, For the sacrifice of the Lord is the word where it says, your gifts. In Hebrew, the word for gifts here, the word right in Leviticus is the word matanot. Try it. Matanot. Now, you should kind of know this because, or the basic, it comes from a word matan and matana. Okay, it's actually matan and matana both mean gift. Matanot means the gifts, plural. From this word, we get we actually get the name Nathan. Natan comes from matan. The word to say, if you want to say to give in Hebrew, the word is natan. Natan is to give. God gave. Natan. Elohim, Natan. He gave. From that comes matan is the gift itself, and plural matano. Now, in Matthew 5, the New Testament word that corresponds to it, the Greek that corresponds to the Hebrew is the word daron. Daron, when he speaks of bringing your gift to God, that stands for matan or matana. All right, now, this is a little different because some of the, sacrifices, it speaks of the substance. One is a grain offering or a drink offering or an incense offering. Others speak of the purpose, guilt offering, sin offering, peace or shalom offering. Others speak of the manner of sacrifice, burnt offering, wave offering. But this is not speaking of any of that. This is speaking of the heart of sacrifice, which a sacrifice is a gift, a matana. It's a gift. But the sacrifice of Messiah is a gift not from man to God, but from God to man. So Messiah, Jesus, is the matana. Say that, matana. From God to man, matana or matan, not just from God to man, but from God to you. So think of what it says. God so loved the world that he gave. His only begotten Son is the giving. So in Hebrew, God, Natan, gave the Son, who is the gift. Hebrew prophecy, think what it says. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. He didn't just live like we do. He was given. Everything he did was given. We're born, he was given. Every moment of his life was given. The atonement, the cross, Bethlehem, the atonement, the cross, his death, his resurrection is given. Everything is matana. He is the matana. He is given. It was his mission to give himself because he is the sacrifice. He is the matana.